My mission I choose to accept is to rank all the Mission Impossible movies. Light the fuse. The Mission Impossible franchise has presumably come to an end, and it's been a 30-year ride of amazing action and incredible commitment by Tom Cruise. So my mission I choose to accept is to rank all 8 films 30 years of cinema. And what shouldn't shock anyone, dead last at number 8 is Mission Impossible 2. Yes, John Woo's outing brought Ethan Hunt to the new metal era in 2000. He's rock climbing, he's throwing sunglasses at the screen, he's dueling with motorcycles. Yeah, this movie was outdated like the minute it came out. Cruise loses all the composure of the first one and just tries to play cool the entire time. The whole virus plot is muddled. Tandy Wayne Newton doesn't get a lot as a love interest. The team isn't really existent. It's Ving Rhames and some Aussie guy, and this has the series' worst villain in Dougray Scott. This is a franchise low. It's basically the movie equivalent of a sentient can of Mountain Dew wearing a Kangol hat. Next, this shouldn't be controversial, but it might be for some. Mission Impossible 3. J.J. Abrams went from the spy show Alias, naturally, to the spy movie franchise Mission Impossible, but he adds quite a few things it didn't really need. Most of all, giving Ethan Hunt a love interest, like he legit gets married. Dude, Ethan is married to the job. First of all, the movie kind of looks like trash, oversaturated, reliant on shaky cam, and has a televisual style, shocker, Abrams is from TV, that just doesn't befit this franchise. This was also in the wake of Tom Cruise's couch jumping when we were pretty iffy on him, so it has this weird odd weight. There's a whole new team in this, but Ethan just ends up doing everything himself. Now, Philip Seymour Hoffman makes a menacing villain, but it was either his performance or his obligation. He does seem a little bored here. Menacing, but you can tell this is a paycheck. Number 6. It's the final reckoning. Yes, we all wished this would be the absolute high point of the series. They just kept upping the stakes, but they kind of wrote themselves into a corner with this one. That doesn't mean this is a bad movie, but it's kind of a greatest hits mix of all the other things in the franchise. There's too many bombs being defused, there's Cruise hanging off of stuff in the air, and there's tons and tons of exposition and recapping the other films. Cruise is still committed as ever, but he's finally showing his age, and this series is finally showing some wear and tear. It's still often an exhilarating time at the movies, but with this one, it does feel like it should be the end. Number 5, Dead Reckoning. Not Part 1 anymore, just Dead Reckoning, apparently. The predecessor to Final Reckoning is a fun, fleet movie, but it's almost all set up. That doesn't mean it isn't a hell of a time. This movie is almost all set pieces, the opening in the Abu Dhabi airport, then going straight to Rome, but that's also where it makes a tragic mistake, and that is, spoiler, duh, killing off Ilsa Faust, Rebecca Ferguson's magnetic and badass character. It ups the stakes by bringing in the entity, but we lose one of the franchise's best assets. That being said, the last 40 minutes on the train, Cruise's insane jump off the cliff, and the escape from the train falling off the cliff is incredible stuff. Number 4, Ghost Protocol. This is the one that kind of revitalized the franchise and showed that Cruise still had the mojo. This is the turning point. After MI3, with all the controversy with Cruise, he decided, I gotta go big. And that includes a franchise best set piece, the scaling the Burj Khalifa. This was the sign that Cruise is a genuine lunatic, because he's really up there entertaining the hell out of us. You still have great Simon Pegg and Paula Patton. Yowza, she should have been in more of these movies, but the villain is kind of a dud. That being said, that Burj Khalifa scene, and just the lightness on its feet, the fact that this movie never really takes itself so seriously, really keeps this in the top tier of the franchise. We're in the top 3. Number 3, Rogue Nation. This was Christopher McQuarrie's first outing with the franchise, and he knocks it out of the freaking park. Not only does this go back to the roots of the series with more spycraft, more espionage, It actually starts with its biggest set piece, which is Tom Cruise hanging off the side of a giant plane, and then gets smaller and more intimate as we go. But it's also noticeable for introducing probably the best character outside of Ethan Hunt, Ilsa Faust, played by Rebecca Ferguson. She is every bit Ethan's equal. She is slinky, sexy, crafty, and you never know where her allegiance lies, which creates a fun imbalance. And it also maybe introduces the series' best villain in Sean Harris's Solomon Lane. And he is Ethan's intellectual match in every sense of the word. The chess match they play at the end is simple but suspenseful and excellent stuff. Rogue Nation is probably the most underrated, but if you dig deep in there, it might just be the most fun. And we're on to number 2, Psych. I can't pick a number 2 and I can't pick a number 1. I love this franchise too much. So you know what? We have a tie for number 1. It's the original Mission Impossible, and it's Mission Impossible Fallout. We'll start with the OG. What more can be said about the original Mission Impossible? It was just the quintessential 90s blockbuster. It showed that this guy isn't just a pretty boy, he has the commitment of a true movie star. I mean, everything about this movie is iconic. Not just the Langley break in, but the opening where his team is killed. R.I.P. Emilio. And then the whole setup for Langley, where you see the heist and what could go wrong before it happens. And then just great character actors. I mean, John Voight as the turncoat, Jean Reno being totally French, and then Ving Rhames, who would just become a staple of this franchise. I mean, then there's also the aquarium breakout with Kittredge. I mean, come on, those low angles from Brian De Palma, Henry Czerny's icy stare, and then the end on the bullet train. This is just peak 90s cinema. And then we have Mission Impossible Fallout, which did the impossible. It made me love a Mission Impossible movie as much as the original. This is in some ways the opposite of the first. It has the spycraft and everything, but it's really an action spectacle delivery system. I mean, the opening Halo jump, then that badass bathroom fight, then the whole chase around Paris with Cruise on a motorcycle, and then the end where Cruise hangs onto a helicopter, commandeers it, and then flies it in an aerial duel with Henry Cavill. Not to mention they both end up on a cliffside and go mano a mano for the fate of the world. I mean, this movie just astounds with the action. It has perfect pacing. It's not too long, it's not too short. Every time it slows down, you get this jolt of energy, but it also has great stakes for Ethan. It brings in his personal life, and it really asks him the moral and philosophical quandary of, is he willing to sacrifice multiple lives for just one of his team? In some ways, this is the peak of the franchise. It's definitely the action peak. I love this one and the original so much. There's, of course, my nostalgia for the 90s original, and then there's just the impeccable craft and gob-smacking, just invigoration of Fallout. These are just two of my favorite movies, and this is really one of my favorite franchises. Woo! I just did the impossible and ranked all these movies. That truly must be what Ethan Hunt feels like. Well, if you like this list, please like and subscribe or follow me on Letterboxd at RamirezS316. Mission accomplished.